Happy Friday, everybody. We are here for another crypto and cocktails edition. I've got my queen bee mug. Can you see that? Because we're the queen bees up in here. And we got Jeannie in the chat, the real one, as always, showing up each and every day. I'm so proud of you. And this is a very fun day here on the show because we like to talk about a little bit about tinfoil hat stuff, digging into the market and getting ready for what's going to happen over the weekend and prepare ourselves for a nice weekend of trading potentially. So a lot happening in the world as always. I'm actually just coming home from an event myself, hence being a little dressed up, but I got the uniform. And you know what? A lot of people asking me, what about that crypto? What about those Bitcoins? What's happening here? And I got to talk to a lot of people about traditional markets as well. And the consensus across the board is just sort of like, we're not too sure what's going on, right? It's sort of like everybody's just, the world is a little bit, it's like, I keep saying this, it feels like there's a cleansing happening, right? And that's never an easy road. It's never a bed of roses. It's never a straight path forward, but it's a very good thing long-term. So I'm excited to be able to come on here and talk about that with you guys today. I hope you had an amazing week despite all the shenanigans that happen here in crypto. We did get a fire sale. It's one of the most value-packed RSI levels in history, right? As we went over on the show yesterday with Rob, we are at lows lower than the pandemic lows on the RSI. What does that mean, guys? It means we're in extreme value territory. That's what it means. As I was going to sleep last night, I saw Bitcoin at 60K and I was like, man, this is such a juicy area, but there is a chance we could come even lower. We don't try to catch the bottom on the channel, but we look for reversal patterns, or we wait for, all the other scenarios to play out that we've spoken here about here on the show. So the title of today's show is, is this a Bitcoin super cycle? Like a lot of the people are saying, Kathy Wood, CZ, or is this just following the 4-year cycle to a T? And will we roll over from here and see another low? Which wouldn't be all that bad as we described yesterday on the show, because that would potentially create some bullish divergence and that would be good for the market. So let me know what you guys are thinking about, what's on your mind, and most importantly, what are you drinking? I don't care if it's tea, coffee. I want to know what's going on in your guys' lives. And Jeannie, it's always so fun to see you. I love the emojis. Love it, love it, love it. From Arizona, how's the weather out there, by the way? It's still rainy here in Spain, but we're getting that sunshine next Thursday. So it's great for me because I'm bunkering down and I'm looking at the charts and I'm builder mode. So all good. I'm as usual, I'm drinking some ATH Costa Rican pineapple vodka as well. It's our brand and it's delicious. But it's great. It's about 11 o'clock here in Spain. So it's okay if I'm having a drink. And I hope you guys are doing well. So we've got TC from cold and snowy north central Pennsylvania. So you and Rob can identify. Rob's also in cold and snowy Pennsylvania. I think also somewhere in the north. Well, I always get confused as to where exactly it is, but we'll check in with him when he comes on now. Jeannie, it says, I was in some losses, nothing Rob called out, of course, but listening to Rob's advice on the market, I was able to avoid any losses and got out in profits. That's phenomenal. That's amazing. I mean, Rob is just such an excellent analyst, and it's nice. It's nice to share about losses too, because trading is never a straight line either, right? You'll have losses, you'll have some tough times. Maybe even mentally, you'll sort of get out of it because you had a few, like a row of 2 or 3 losses, and you're like, man, what's going on? But you always can zoom out and go back to the mechanical rules, and you will find your way back. And trading is all about probabilities. So the idea is that your wins will outweigh your gains if you're managing your risk properly due to the probabilities of how many trades you will win, right? So yeah, fabulous weather in Arizona in the 80s. You're drinking a twisted tea. I like it. I like it a lot. I'm not gonna lie, I did have an espresso martini at this event that I went to, and that was really good. I never drink usually cocktails like that, but it was phenomenal. Dan, what's up? I don't know if I've seen you on the show before, but cheers to you. Dan, today is crypto and cocktails. So let us know what you're drinking. And actually, I think it's going to be fun if we actually have Rob up for the news portion of this, because we've been talking about some stuff and it's just a chatty time. So Rob, I'm pulling you up early today. How's it going?
Oh, I'm doing really well. How are you doing today?
Yeah, good. You're also in snowy North Pennsylvania. Is that right?
Yes, I am. Today was a pretty bad day with the weather today. There's the highway is completely covered in ice, and there was a 19-car powwow.
19 car. Oh my gosh, that's dangerous. That's dangerous
Yeah,
to drive.
4 or 5 miles from my wife, from my
Oh,
right where my wife drives to work. So luckily she didn't get it.
yeah. Well, glad you guys are okay. There's been some crazy weather stuff here. We have like a storm alert in Spain of all places for like floods and things. It's like very, very crazy in the world. I think it's like symbolic of this cleanse that we're going through, all this crazy, crazy weather. So we got Heaven is Real, hibiscus tea. Oh my gosh, now this sounds good. Hibiscus tea. So I actually heard recently that hibiscus tea is really good for your health. It has some sort of side effects, but that it's amazing for your health with ginger, honey, and lemon. Oh my goodness, that sounds amazing. And you're in Indiana, right? Is that what that is? Love it. Love it. So it's cold weather. It's very cozy tea weather. I like that a lot. And yeah, okay, hibiscus. You guys got to tell me if you know anything about hibiscus. That I swear I just saw this in a group that it was phenomenal for your health. It had like great benefits. So I like the hibiscus. Rob, we need to know what you're drinking today.
I'm just really simple. I'm just doing a nice little can of rum and coke.
Rum and coke.
Rum and coke.
Oh, okay. It's in the can?
Yeah, I put in the can. I even put in the glass this time. All my glasses are in the dishwasher going right now. When I got home, I ran the dishwasher. So all the cups.
Hey, I like it. This is crypto. We'll take it any way you like it. Whatever floats your boat, all is welcome here. So I like it. So we've just been discussing the markets. People are like, are we bullish now? Is this looking like we're going to get some sort of like big recovery and we're just going to take off from here and it's off to the races? Or is there something sort of lingering in the background that tells us that that's not quite what we're looking at? What do you think, Rob?
I mean, as of right now, whenever you zoom in, it feels bullish and it's like, oh my, things are up. But you got to remember, we dropped significantly. So everything right now is just considered an oversold bounce. And that's all it is until we actually get a pattern or some kind of bullish candlestick pattern, a break of something that actually start getting some strength in the market. And we also have to remember, how long have we been in a bear market, and take that into consideration. And the thing is, like, I'm already seeing people sitting there like saying like bottoms in, if that was capitulation, that was this. And it's just kind of like, well, I thought capitulation was the last time we had a big long wick in October. And I was like, oh, I think after that, we're going to be getting an alt run. We had capitulation then. There was a nice long wick. Everything got bought up, and we're ready for alt season. And now alts are back at that level, and that, or even lower. So I'm not going to sit there and just assume something right away just because of one thing. I need some more confluence. I need some more facts in the charts. And I just need something to show me strength to sit there and say, hey, our bottom's in. I can sit there and call for, I'll call for a potential bear market rally, which I think we went over that too. Those are typically 30-40% gains in Bitcoin, but that's not just going to be a one candle pump. That's going to be a little bit of an upside. It will take a little bit of time to play out as well, of course. But again, it's a bear market rally, not the bottom. It's just a rally in the bear market, which happens just like we have pullbacks in a bull market, good opportunities for buying. We have bear market rallies, which is a good opportunity for day trading for longs.
Right, right. And so I believe we went over the key levels. So basically, yesterday we gave you a blueprint for exactly what could happen. I mean, it was a very in-depth show, an hour-long show for exactly what could happen with Bitcoin, certain key levels, where we could see it rally to, what's happened in the past, how it looks very similar to 2018 in the magnitude of the drop, but also the speed of that drop. Like it happened a lot faster than certain other markets. So, I mean, the whole point here is price wise, we're maybe close, but time wise, maybe not. So keep that in mind because you don't want to deploy all your capital too early before you get those reversal signs. So we recovered nicely from 60,000 last night, but we're sort of like hanging around just under, around the 70K mark right now. It would be interesting to zoom in and have a look at what's going on. What do you say?
Yeah, we can do that.
I see Dan is drinking green tea. We've got tea drinkers in the house. I like that. Green tea is also super healthy.
My wife's not really big into tea. She's bought like this whole tea kit and all this other stuff. She's gotten like really into it.
Oh yeah. Okay. Maybe I'll have to have a tea on the next one. I like that. Crypto cocktails and I don't know. I got to think another and tea and high tea. There we go. Heaven is real. Oh, I like your name too. We go through a dip and after that another rally to another high peak. Yeah, high peak. But so you're saying another higher high? Is that what you mean? That would be highly not probable, probably in this case, at least not right now. At least that's not what the charts are showing us. That would be like in against the probability sort of scenario. But let's have a look at where we're at now and take it from there.
So what I'm looking right now for the lower time frames, I'm watching the 4-hour chart. I'm going to go ahead and take it off line graph. I was trying to get a different view of the market using the line graph, showing me open closes here. So what we're looking at right now, we're also going to turn on Lux Algo so you guys can see some things.
Yes. Lux Algo, again, I say this every time. We go over it in our course. I'm actually going to go and speak to the founder in a few weeks of this indicator. Guys, it makes it so much easier if you don't have Lux Algo. Hopefully, we're going to get like a nice discount from them for our Hive members. And you all need to get it because it just makes trading so much easier and visually just much more clear.
All right, so basically what I'm looking at right now is this was almost like this is like an indecision candle right here, right down at the bottom. It's not quite a hammer candle. We're going up. We broke the 4-hour 9. We had a pretty nice little bounce today. So I'm calling this a little bounce. So there's nothing like significant wise other than we just bounced here. Is the wrong one. How much are we up right now from the very, very bottom? Which I did open up a leverage long and I already closed it right about 70K. So I already closed my long on Bitcoin. So 18% rally on Bitcoin. I got about probably like 61% or 16, 15% of it. And I closed my long. And I was happy with that one here. But now what we're going to be looking for is for us to come back down and get into this fair value gap. And we want to see if this holds. And it's also lined up with this white line here, which is the SMA 9. Yes, it's the SMA 9. So we want to see that hold and make a potential higher low. Or if it does come back all the way down, we want to see like a double bottom scenario in this here. So just because we bounce right now doesn't mean that we won't come back down. So we're looking for a scenario like that one here. Now, I was really hoping that we would run all the way up to here and get rejected because that would be actually the best scenario if we did sit there and hold and we come all the way up here and we get rejected and we came back down to where we're at right now, because then we will be looking at a potential head and shoulders. That would be a better reversal idea in my mind right there in order to be a little bit more confident market. But this is the bad thing right here I'm going to look at. So we're going to do a little RSI teaching here. So right now, the RSI, we don't have any bullish divergence in the 4-hour time frame. We did come down all the way down to the lows, which was about 1110, and now we're up to about 40, and it's starting to curve down already. And everybody's like, oh, we're oversold. We're going to be going all the way up to overbought and things are going to go skyrocketing and stuff like that. Where bottoms in, you're going to be hearing that type of stuff. Look how oversold that is. And here's the thing. And this is why it's really important to name what kind of market you're trading in. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to pull up something I just posted in group for everybody here. We'll read it to you guys. Kind of same thing we're going over. So in a downtrend or a bear market, their RSI tends to stay between the levels of 10 to 60 range within the 50 to 60 zone, acting as resistance. These ranges will vary depending on the RSI settings and the strength of the security or the market's underlying trend. This is from not me. This is from Fidelity Investments, the big players, the big boys, the ones who really know what they're doing. So whenever you're in a bear market or a bearish trend, you're going to be looking for RSI to be in a range low. So right now that we're getting up into that range, we're getting up to the high of the range low right now, and we're starting to curl over. And whenever that does happen, you could sit there and just go through here and see. We'll go ahead and go through and see. Whenever that does happen, look, so I'm going to minimize some of this stuff so you can actually see it a little bit better and it's not as hard to see. Let's go ahead and close all that here. And these are things that you won't ever hear in the crypto space because they just sit there and say overbought, oversold, and they don't ever read beyond that. That's all they use. So once I actually did my own research, my own learning, my own education, I was like, oh, there's a lot more to the RSI than just overbought, oversold. Let's go ahead and delete all these lines on here. So you can see right here how we came from the overbought areas down from like 18 to 20 or so right there. And that was these two levels right here, and right here. And we went all the way up to this point right here, which was 61. Wow. 61. How perfect is that? Can't say that's more any perfect from what I just read there, right? And whenever we hit that 61, it actually did not make a higher high. It made kind of a lower high or just a flat top there, and it rolled over, and we had a big capitulation right there, maybe capitulation, or we had a big sell-off, we can call it, all the way down, why this all the way came down. So whenever you get in a range low like this, the price action, this range low will actually bring the price action further down. So we need to get this up to all the way overbought, and then kind of hold 40 level and come back down, hold the 40, 50 level as support, and then start going up for this, start being in a range high. Or what we can look for, since it went so low last time, price action, in my opinion, what will happen, because this will scare everybody, we lose this level here. If we don't hold this level here, we'll lose this, and we'll come in and make a new low on this right here, and actually be even closer to the weekly SMA 50 most likely. And whenever this comes down, since this was so low last time, I think one of the lowest it's ever been, which is 10, there is a better potential chance, even if it goes down all the way to 15, that will be still considered bullish divergence. So we're getting higher probabilities of getting bullish divergence to play out. And whenever we get that bullish divergence, there's a better chance of us breaking the 50 level and 60 level. And when we break that 50 and 60 level, that's whenever we have the confirmed divergence that's actually going to play out, and we're going to start getting positive bullish price action.
Okay. So heaven is real. That's more of the scenario where maybe we would start to see, a reversal and then working our way back up again. We would have to then assess where we are at those key levels when we do so. But yeah, there's sort of a lack of momentum and strength in the market right now. Hence the RSI curling over right now at 45. And it didn't make it up to that 79,000 area that Rob was talking about. So yeah, like maybe we get that scenario. And would that be even probably the better of the two scenarios, Rob, at this point? Getting some bullish divergence in order to have like more of a blast off when we do.
Yeah, I think that'd be more of a signal. I think that did happen, and we got a lower price action, and we actually did hit the SMA weekly 200 fully. I think we could sit there and say, all right, we did actually hit this 100% fully, like candle close on it. It would be better in my opinion, because then it just takes that all out, and then I think it'll be rocket fuel to the upside. Right now, we can also zoom out to like a 1 day time frame. We're still underneath the 1 day SMA 9, so that's going to be coming down today as well too. And we're also is this the 9? Still didn't change it, did I? No, making sure I didn't change my settings. So right now we're still bearishly retesting the 12-hour SMA 9 as well too. So we still have a lot for. I'm not going to take 1 or 2 12-hour green candles and sit there and say we're full bull right now. Now, could we be starting a bullish candlestick pattern? Maybe. We've come back down, double bottom. Let's see some more price action. Let's see some more proof. Let's see if support's hold. Let's see what kind of market structure we build here. I think that's the more important thing right now in order for us to have a bear market rally. And if it goes beyond a bear market rally, cool, awesome. We'll take it level by level, and we'll sit there and see where the strength's at. Now, I just want to go back I almost want to zoom out a little bit now, and everybody's sitting there saying, it seems like they're saying like bear market bottoms in. Am I correct on X?
Yeah, a lot of people are saying this could very well be the bottom. That's it. We're not going lower because everybody thinks we're going lower. We're just going to take off from here.
Okay, so I'm going to sit there and say that we get some kind of chop that's going to chop everybody out, and then kind of. I like
that would be brutal.
I like to think of situations where everybody's just wrong. I like knowing that the bulls and bears are both wrong in some way, and that the traders win that get in and out. That's kind of my philosophy most of the time. So I'm
Right.
going to go ahead and pull up the Super Guppy here. So this is something right here. Does that look like, whenever you look at all the other ones, as soon as you turn gray, is there any red? Usually when you turn red on the Super Guppy, it's saying you're getting close to a bottom. There is no red. We're just in the gray area right now.
Wow, that's a bit scary. Judging by this one, it looks like we're pretty far away from still a potential bottom if history rhymes.
Yeah. So these are made of moving averages, and it's made of higher time frame moving average, lower time frame moving average, and they put these all together and made some kind of crazy indicator here. It's called the Super Guppy. You can put it on your chart if you want to. So when I look at it that way, what would you, if it wasn't Bitcoin, you weren't sitting there holding it, if I sat this chart to you and you're saying you're trying to buy the bottom of the bear market, would you buy right now? No, you want to buy when this is red and blue. You want to buy when this is red and blue. You want to buy when this is red and blue. Are we red and blue? No. So
Yeah.
that right there just tells me, okay, we're kind of, we want some more confluence on other charts here. We could be just getting started here. We could be getting a bear market rally, yes, but is it bear market bottom? I can't sit there and say we're close to it right now. I can't sit there and I'm not going to give a prediction on it. I'm just going to show you guys what the charts are saying, and we have more time for Bitcoin to prove itself. Now let's go ahead and let's go to the weekly time frame of this. So when we zoom, so we looked at the 3-day, 1-day, 12-hour, all that type 3-day on where we are at. Now I was examining the 2-week and 1 week. We are not any lower. We're at our normal lows. We're almost just there. So there is sometimes in the weekly and 2-weekly chart for bear market bottoms that we did go a little bit lower. So we are at right now 29, and there were times that we did go to 25 or so on the weekly time frame. So there is a little bit more room on the weekly time frame to move down, and 29 to 25 still a pretty big move in price actions just due to the high time frame that we're in.
Right. Yeah. It seems like it's a little bit, but it looks like a blip on the radar. And here, and look, guys, like we're on Crypto and Cocktails Day. We're going to zoom out. I'm going to say this will be a blip on the radar in the grand scheme of things. But right now, what our goal is on this channel is to help you make as best decisions as possible with the information we can give you so that your portfolio does better, so that you learn how to trade, so that you've got the edge, right? And that's what the Hive is all about. And that's why I'm going to take this opportunity. I see new people tuning in. Guys, if you're not in the Hive, you must join. The link is down in the description. You will be sent to our Telegram verification group where you'll click on the bot to verify. You just must sign up to BYDFI or Trusted Exchange, copy and paste your user ID, and you will get a $100 bonus for depositing any amount as our gift to you. Right? So that link is in the description. You cannot miss this. There are setups right now while everybody's waiting to see, is this the bottom? Is this not the bottom? We are making money both up and down and all the ways. Like the volatility is the best thing for trading, right? So as Rob said, we're seemingly bearishly retesting on a lot of altcoins. We could get some good shorts coming in if that's the case, or we go long, but you've got to be in the group to know, because this weekend we might have some really good trading and you're not going to know because we won't be able to tune in on YouTube. That's only a Monday through Friday thing. So Banner, welcome to the show. I hope you heard that, because you got to get in the group, guys. Join the Hive. We are crushing it in there, 500 members strong, and we got a lot of good stuff coming out. So Banner says he was deleted from the group. That could have been back when our bot was being bad, naughty bot. We had some problems with the bot earlier on, and it was kicking people out. So we fixed it. And so if that was the case, if you were trying to join from before, whatever, just DM us and we'll get you back in, or join that verification group. It's in the description, and we'll help you get set up, okay? Because you don't want to miss this. You don't want to miss this. This is potentially, this is life-changing opportunity for you, because you're going to learn how to trade. And when the trading gets easy, when the conditions get easier, my God, you're going to just be so happy that you invested this time in yourself and you became one of the real ones. Jeannie knows. If you know, you know, guys. And we're having master classes every single day here on YouTube as our dedication to you during this bear market, to give back, to give value, and before we start charging for the group, right? So guys, we're happy to have you here. And Rob's analysis is next to none. I don't see analysis like this on any other channel. So if you like that, hit the like, smash the subscribe, and share this with everybody, because we are going up and up, guys. Onward and upward. All right, Rob, back to you. Let's check out some Bitcoin charts.
All right, so now I just inverted the chart, and you want to make sure sometimes inverting the chart is really good. And whenever you sit there, especially if you're mainly a bull trader, and this will significantly help you. So if you're a bull trader and you saw this pattern and this was coming down for this area, you would be already scaling in for a retest in order to get a good entry. And you'll be wanting scaling all the way down in. This is a breakout right here, and this would be a retest of a neckline right here. And you don't know if you're gonna get the full retest, but if you did, like, it's coming in, I'd sit there and be like, all right, time to start scaling in potentially and sit there and see if we can get a good entry on this here. But this is an inverted chart. So right now, you go like this, that's a bearish retest. So it's very important to sit there, and this is a main key level that I was actually waiting for it to see what we held to do a good long on it, because that was like right where the weekly SMA 100, the weekly 100 was at, and that was a very important level. And once we lost that, that's whenever I said I opened up a bunch of shorts in the group and stuff like that, and we made a killing on it. So right now we're coming up. Let's see how close we are to that weekly SMA 100. See if that's any a little bit. I think that's a little bit higher. So I kind of want to see where that's at right now, because I haven't actually looked at that. Let's go and turn this on.
And man, it's crazy how bullish this chart looks when it's inverted. That also gives you a good perspective. Whenever you're having trouble or you're just a little bit clouded, that's a really great thing to do. I think you right click on the price action and you'll have the option to invert the chart, and that helps a lot.
Yep. And then if you're just if you're on a keyboard or whatever, you hit Control Alt I, that will invert it too.
All right.
Right. I just did it, but anyway, so whenever I turn, so we still are pretty far away from that 1 week SMA 100, because right when we, so it was this close right here. Yeah. So it's when we closed underneath that, I basically closed all longs that don't add to your longs, put your stop loss to break even or whatever. And we started, and when we started like going down a little bit, that's when I started shorting the market. We had this big thing right here. So that just happened. And this is just, it's clear breakdowns. Now, if we have bear traps, okay, then we're going to flip long. We're going to long in the strength. But we need to see that strength just a little bit. We kind of got to see where this closes at. If we get a long wick here, then maybe we get all the way back up here on the weekly. We're coming closer to the weekly end here. Let's see how that kind of plays out. Maybe we'll get some good day trade longs in here soon, but we need some more confirmation in the 4-hour and 12-hour charts in order for me to even open up some longs here. Did we get oversold bounces? Yeah, but whenever I'm away from my computer, I can't trade an oversold bounce. It's too high risk, because it's like trading an oversold bounce is like trying to catch a falling knife in a bear market. Is very, if it was a bull market, I'll do it, but in a bear market, I would not, because whenever you're in a bear market, you don't know how low it's going to go. It can just keep dropping, and there's a reason they call it catching a falling knife. And I believe in the last 2 days, people have figured that out.
Oh yeah, and it can cause a lot of frustrating losses that cause you to doubt your trading ability, all the stuff. So it's best just to avoid that. It's best just to wait for a little confirmation, even though you don't catch the entire move. And the message here is just to be patient, let it settle. Let's get some market structure and have a clear edge, because that's what trading about. It's about the edge. That's what's going to help you make the money and avoid losses and manage your risk better. So yeah, the strength is just not showing up yet. It looked like 70, about like 70. What was the key level there? That's
oh, sorry, the one I just deleted.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm kind of trying to get an idea of where the key level is at. I'm just going to go off this weekly level right here, this high. So we are going to go off of this. That is about 71.4.
Right. Okay. 71.4. So starting to see some strength and a break back above that potentially, but we're just not there yet, guys. So it's a sort of a wait and see, and there's no problem being on the sidelines. Now, we do love to scalp in this group, and scalps are very fast trades. You could be out of the market within 30 minutes, right? Sometimes even less. So we do a lot of scalp trading, which is a lot of fun in these kind of conditions, because you can catch the quick pops and things like that. But you've got to follow the mechanical rules. And if you haven't watched some of our tutorials, you got to sign up for our course when we drop it here before the end of the month, maybe for Rob's birthday. Yep, coming here on the end of February, fire birthday sale. But yeah, what's up, Al-Munim? You're coming in for the good stuff. We're just talking about Bitcoin and how it's lacking conviction here. It's not convincing us that it's quite ready for a reversal yet right now at this point. But Rob was saying we have a critical weekly close. Let's see how that closes Sunday, and take it from there. But in the meanwhile, we have a ton of setups now we're looking at. Rob posted a bunch of setups in the group now, and we're ready to rock and roll this weekend and have a really fun time in the hive.
Yep. So yeah, we'll be posting some more as well too. We got some shorts already playing out. We got some bearish retests of setups that we're already in. They hit all take profits. They came back up. They're bearishly retesting the levels as well too. So we're gonna see if those play out, and then if they get bear trapped, then we'll be looking to flip long in the group. So we're waiting for those confirmations. Basically, we don't want to jump the gun. You don't want to sit there and be like, oh, oversold bounce right now. I want to sit there and long it, and then it's come right back down to the lows again. We get a sweep of the lows or something like that, and then it goes up, because then you're getting whipsawed out. So waiting for just the confirmations is always very key for me, and makes it just a lot easier.
Absolutely. Should we pull up the stablecoin chart and have a look at where that's at?
Yep.
So that was one we were looking at, and that gave us the edge as to, the breakdown for Bitcoin as it started its sort of like parabolic run here. And now we're just sort of watching it to see what happens next.
Yeah, so we're looking for basically a blow off top, which we might have one, but do we have one? See if this support holds right here. We made it to the 12-hour. It seems like the 12-hour SMA 9 right now is the one to talk about, because we're right to support, back to support right now. 12-hour SMA 9. If we just kind of let's go ahead and look at the 30-minute chart. If this kind of just turns into some kind of bull flag right here and it starts going back up again, we're sitting right back down to support. Or if we bounce right here on this right here, we go make a double top, and that would be a good scenario for a potential good entry. But right now, it's kind of see what goes on right here. We're going into the weekend, so it's kind of hard sometimes to sit there and believe any price action going into the weekend or during the weekend. So it's more on just being patient and just potentially just playing some day trades right now until we get more conviction, more strength in the market. So we might be just looking towards something like that.
Right. Raw Food Writer says we need some stimmy checks. I agree. Trump was saying that he was going to give everybody $2,000. What's going on there? I want to know what's happening, because we all want those stimmy checks to flow right into this market and let's just have a good time again, right? Like, although I'm not going to lie, now that we ripped the Band-Aid off and Bitcoin is doing what it's doing, we're here. We might as well embrace it, right? Because I feel like this is a generational opportunity at the levels we're going to come down to if we're not already down to them. And, it's a time to accumulate more, and even altcoins on some of these altcoins that you're bullish on for long term when we start to see bottoming signals. So it is sort of a gift in a way that we didn't just keep on ripping, and it's not just that super cycle already, because we have time to accumulate. And I think I posted in the group about how the next 5 years is like the last chance basically to accumulate wealth and to like become wealthy by accumulating assets, because AI and things like that is going to make it pretty unattainable in the future. Maybe it's true. I don't know. But if so, guys, then this is good. This is time to build. This is time to learn. This is time to go get more money, to invest. And any little thing that you can do right now is going to make such a big difference in the very near future. So don't get too down about this. Learn new skills, learn how to trade, hone in on your skills, just stay laser focused. Like I see you guys tuning in here. You guys are the ones that are going to win, because you're taking this all in, and you're going to be, in order to win at trading, you've got to be better than the rest, right? You've got to have a better edge. You've got to be better at your skill. And that's how this works. So I'm confident and actually sure that if you're here and you're tuning in and listening to Rob's advice and taking the courses, you're going to win. Like, no doubt.
Yeah. So, I mean, the more confluence, the more things the better you get at it. And one of the things is that makes me not bullish as well too, just quite yet, is when in doubt. One of my sayings is, when in doubt, zoom out. So like those first bounces always make me a little bit scared. And whenever I zoom out, it's like, what would you do right here? So you see, this is just the Lux Algo price action here. You have Chotch, which is change of character, break of structure, and down here we had another break of structure. The best break of structure entry is typically the bearish order block. And you look at H bar right now, we came all the way up. Yeah, it was a nice good bounce on it. It was a nice good 34% bounce in this right here, but that's already played out. So now it's in the bearish order block. I actually opened up short on it. I didn't get to post it in group, but because I just saw it. When I saw it, I just opened it and I put my phone down because it's my reaction now. We're up in here, so I'm already short on it. But if it keeps getting rejected here, it's just a bearish liquidity grab, taking out liquidity all the way up to here. So that's all this is a bearish liquidity grab above this bearish order block, and the bearish break of structure is playing out basically perfectly. And typically when you get a break of structure, you're gonna have some more downside. So right now it's how much lower can we go on? Like me, I want a big bag of H bar. So I'm hoping that we can at least get all the way up to these levels here, or down to these levels, I should say, because then I could really accumulate some. This is gonna be one that I accumulate during, if we get one more leg down. I think it's gonna be a good one here. So if this gets all the way down, if we break this level here and we get up to these levels, or down to these levels, I should say. I'm saying up because I'm looking at it this way. That's gonna be last time I bought H bar on spot was actually down in here. So I'm gonna be getting right back down in here, and I sold right here. I'm very
Look at that rip. I mean, just look at that rip. H bar is super bullish, by the way. Like, man, I did a podcast with the CFO, and they're working with institutions, and they're like the main sponsor at the WEF in Davos, and they are like making moves. So yeah, I'm super bullish on H bar. I accumulate that for long term as well, and that would be phenomenal. I think this is the way you have to look at the market, like Rob was saying. If we are going to get that other leg down, let's freaking go, man. Let's have a plan and let's do the thing.
Yeah. So I mean, last time I bought H bar was right in this area. I sold it right about here. I'm very bad at holding tokens. You can ask Megan. I'm very bad at holding. Like, I get up in profit, and I just take it and run. I'm very good at taking profit. But lots of practice in that one. Closing trades up way too early because I like to take my money. I like it now, and I usually miss out on big portions of the gain. But it keeps me very safe at the same time. So the people who usually get big gains like this, a lot of times they'll buy it right back here, and they ride it all the way back down, and they give it all back. So I mean, it's one of those things where it's a given. I had to learn that my personality, that I'm so good at that, right? Like closing trades and taking profits, that it keeps me very safe, and it keeps my portfolio steadily growing instead of having a big up, then big drawdown, big up. And for me, it's a lot easier. So, and this year I actually caught, whenever I did this trade, I remember this. I posted on my X account. It was actually a weekly chart I posted right here, and it was from the oscillators showing bullish. I can't remember what moving average I was using, a SMA 5 in the weekly time frame. I said it broke that, and we had a bullish crossover. And I looked at it the next day, and it just zoomed up. I was like, "What?" I'm like, "What is going on?" I'm like, "Okay, I'm out."
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? Jeannie says she loaded up at 27 cents. I think a lot of people did. I mean, we were expecting an altcoin rally that did not happen. And so a lot of people got really bullish there, and it's okay. Honestly, long term, I believe HBAR is going to rocket out of the water, right? But what we're teaching here in the course is sort of like how to get out when the time is to get out, and then be able to buy back in when you see reversal patterns. And so you do miss some of the move in that way, but you do hedge your risk a lot more. Now, what I do is I do have one long-term portfolio where I just accumulate and let it sit there for a long term, but I have a trading portfolio where I like to try to compound those gains, right? So you've got to have some sort of strategy, even if you're somewhere in between. But, you know, I have learned a lot from Rob taking profits. And, you know, that is one of the things that happens when you do like to accumulate coins for long term, is you do give away a lot of the gains. And so we're trying to help you avoid that, but still be able to accumulate and double down when the time is right. Right. So it's a wild west. It's a wild world out there, but you're learning how to play the game, right? With the big guys, and be in the big leagues now, and compete with traders, right? Who know what they're doing, because now you know what you're doing.
Yep. So I also bought at 20 cents as well too. I remember buying at 20 cents, and I could tell you why you bought at 20 cents. And I could also tell you why I left at 20 cents as well too, and how I left at 20 cents. I actually left at 20. I bought at 20 cents, and I left at 20 cents in profit actually. So whenever we were back there, we had this double bottom here and a bull flag. This was a very bullish pattern, and this yellow line right here, which is the daily SMA 200. So this was actually a really bullish pattern. So you actually bought on a really good. You bought really good at a really good level, to be honest. So so you didn't do anything wrong. It's whenever the idea gets some validation that you have to omit it, and you have to either take a loss real quick, or you learn how to get out and profit. So we're going to go ahead and just go through this a little bit. So you're looking for the breakout. You're buying the one-day SMA 200. I'm guessing. Let's go ahead and get through here. Right there. So I loaded up on H-bar in this wick right here. That was the October liquidation wick. And that dollar cost averaged my price down. So I was a spot. I didn't have a stop loss on that spot bag. So then it came back up to here. I did enough dollar cost averaging that right there, I believe I got out of the trade and took profit on that bounce there. So right around 19 cents, I actually left the trade in profit, and I stopped watching it. And then after I stopped watching it, it did go back up. It bearish retest again. So you had two chances to get out right there from a bearish retest. So you had three bearish retests. So you had three opportunities to leave on a bearish retest of the weekly or the daily SMA 200. So you had basically three chances right there of sitting there saying, all right, the market actually did after that. If you lose the daily SMA 200, you should get out and wait till we close back above it in order to get back in, right? Or a significant drawdown or bear market lows, maybe look at getting back in. But you had three potential opportunities right there to get out at break even, or if you bought the dip after that and then you got out, that's called a V bounce recovery entry. Basically, is you buy this down here, somewhere down here, then as it goes back up and bearish retest, you get out. Sometimes it's in the V bounce you get to get out and profit, or if you bought like a breakout or something and it goes down and does that, you can get out at break even.
Right. Yeah, which is, my God, if you take this course and you understand these rules and you add the 1 day 9, you add all of these things, then it starts to be a lot more clear, and you save yourself from these massive drawbacks. Even if you take a small loss, it's just much more profitable long term if you're able to do that. Now, a lot of people don't have these skills, so for a lot of people, it's almost better to just set it and forget it and let that volatility happen. But knowing how to manage your risk and do that in your portfolio will make you so much more successful, much faster.
Yeah, say if you just sold right here where the candle closed and said, all right, it broke down. So say if you wait for candle closes. So after that long wick down right here, the candle after your entry, the candle closed 18% down, right? So say if you just sit there and said, all right, I'm taking an 18% loss. Sounds like a big loss. Like, oh man, I don't want to take that kind of loss. You weren't waiting for the bearish retest and you just took that loss right now. You didn't do anything after that. Now it's down from that 18% loss. It's now from that level down 50, it went down 57%. So you would still be a lot better off, even if you didn't have the skills of doing the V bounce recovery and how to do all that, or if you weren't patient enough to wait for the bearish retest and you didn't FOMO back in when it did get back up there, and you were just patient and you're waiting for your signals, you're waiting for candle closes. And this here is actually some of the basic rules right here. Like one of my stock market rules is you only trade long above the 1 day SMA 200, and you trade short underneath the 1 day SMA 200. It's a very simple rule, and you can kind of see why. Above the 1 day SMA 200, hey, bullish, came back down, got beaten down, up, we lost it, wait, we lost it, we got above it, boom. And it's one of those rules. It's kind of simple. Every time you lose it, you have a big drawdown. Lost it, drawdown. Lost it, giant drawdown. So it's just one of those things that you could keep on your chart and just sit there and keep that in the back of your head. Even sometimes you can trade long up to it, but again, once you get up to it, you better get out until we break above it. So that's going to determine your longer term trend, what you're in, to kind of know what direction to trade or something like that. So yeah, that 20 cents buy, because I remember doing YouTube saying we're bullish right here. I'm going to be buying at 20 cents, the retest of the 1 day SMA 200, and I did do it, and I got out on the bearish retest. So yeah, just make sure. Yeah, just what I say when we do something like that, just go back and look back and figure out what you could have done to save yourself from that. So you don't do it again.
Then you have a lot more capital in times like these where things are just crashing to the bottom, and you can scoop them on up, right? And those are the best opportunities in investing always. And it's always the hardest to have the dry powder during these times, right? During these crashes, because if you've bought and you've held earlier in the cycle on a dip, it's kind of like the meme I shared yesterday. The dip just keeps going. It's the fifth dip, it's like we're out of money by then. So that's sort of the mentality and the strategy. So Almanin says that he believes that he has a gut feeling that we might have one more leg up to finish the bull run that we were meant to have in 2025, even though it doesn't feel like at the moment. Look, it's entirely possible. I still believe that we're lagging the liquidity cycle, that we're going into quantitative easing now, that I still believe that from a macro perspective, that there is some weight to that argument. Okay. I really do. And so maybe if we don't rally all the way up right now to 79K, like Rob said, and form that, we didn't do that. It doesn't look like we're going to do that. If we don't, maybe we come down for one more lower low, print that bullish divergence on the RSI, and then we start sort of making our way back up. I'm not discounting that. It's just that we have to take it level by level. And I would agree with you, for macro and looking at all the different factors, it would make more sense for things to turn around, right? Because that's what we lacked in this entire bull run, was liquidity. We had an entire bull run in quantitative tightening for the first time in history, because we were lagging in the cycle. I think a lot of that was due to the pandemic and certain loans that were taken out. It's a little bit complicated, but the maturity of the loans, things like that, they pushed back the liquidity cycle. And so here we are. Are we going to get a typical bear market, or will we turn around when those conditions start to catch up? There's a lot of different theories out there. Let's see, the Digicam man, can't wait to take the course. All right, I love to hear it. It's so painful to round trip from 69K to 120K and back to 69K without enough confidence to make money trading on the way up and the way down. Man, you are so not alone. You know what? It's like majority of the market feels that way. And it's like, that's why I love this so much, and why I'm happy to start this endeavor with Rob and have the group with Rob, because the knowledge that you learn here is just going to make you so much better of an investor in everything, not just crypto. I mean, everything. And it's going to help you have the confidence to understand when to cut your losses, when to let your winners ride, when to take profits. I mean, that's a very hard thing to navigate for most people. So if you found this channel and you're tuning into this, man, you're going to do very, very well. And you're going to feel confident again in your ability to be able to step back and say, okay, this is where we're at. This is what I'm going to do, and make your strategy and your plan. So I'm super excited to hear that. And I'm glad you're here. That's all I have to say.
Yeah. And I like to add to that too. Like, I get having the confidence on it. I'm going to admit to you, like any real trader that I ever meet, I don't think a trader ever gains that's actually trading the markets and trying to make big money and doing all this all type of stuff. I don't think they ever really gain the confidence in their heart. They always get kind of nervous on certain things. I think what they do, I think over time, seeing this stuff play out over and over again, what happens, you just start trusting you start making your risk management plan better. You make more rules. You start following your rules, and you learn to just respect your rules. You could ask Megan many times before or after the show. We talk a little bit. I'm like, man, I really want to buy this dip, but I'm like, but it's not above this right here. I can't do it. Then every time I say that, it just roll. I'm like, all right, it's barely retesting this. I'm going to open up a short. We didn't break above it. It's not telling me to long it. My chart's not telling me, even though I'm like, this dip is so deep right now. It's lower than anytime I've ever seen in years. I want to buy it. And every time I say that, what happens? It rolls over and we make massive money on shorts. It's because I'm following the rules. And it doesn't feel right to me. It doesn't feel like, oh yeah, I know this right here. Like, oh yeah, we're doing great because I know this. It's like, man, this dip right here, it's so oversold. Like, I'm just going to get short squeezed. I'm going to get wrecked when I short this. And I click, I'm like, I should be buying right now. Then boom, I'm in profit. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm following the rules. It works. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And you might miss some of the move, but you have to control that FOMO. I mean, I do the same with Rob, and I'm looking at, I'm like, it's ingrained in me to be an investor. I must buy all of this. I must buy this dip. And then you run out of money, and it's the same stuff, guys. It's the same stuff. So again, then I reel myself back in, and I'm like, okay, I want to try to get the edge, now I want to try to, because for me, I am buying Bitcoin for a very long term. So obviously right here would be a great buy, but like, I also have a portfolio that I want to start compounding gains in, and I want to start making it grow regardless of the market conditions. And you can learn how to do that. And it can be life changing for you. You can quit your 9 to 5 if that's what you want. You can have like a good amount of side money to do. Like, sky is the limit here if you learn these rules and you stick to these rules, and it really helps with your emotions in investing. And I think that's what gets in the way of a lot of people's success in investing is the pure raw emotion. I mean, the Wall Street cheat sheet is a pure reflection of our emotion as humans, our panic, our greed, all of the stuff in between, right? Despair, giving up, denial, all the things. But if you can learn how to control that a little bit and just stick to the rules, it will feel so much safer and better, because like, okay, these are the rules for a reason, because the trading respects that, right? And like, it makes it easier for you to get the edge. So that's what this is all about. Baby Whale Shark, shout out to you, and thanks for reposting the stream, because there's always some kind of gem here for you guys, and there's always some kind of knowledge to take home. And all of you tuning in on a Friday, I mean, I love it. I don't know where you're tuning in from or what you're doing. A few of you told me what you're drinking, some tea drinkers, some cocktail drinkers. It's so much fun to tune in here with you guys every single day, and I'm glad that we get the chance to do this. So Rob, I don't know, do you have any last words for everyone as we send them into the weekend?
Yeah. So I'm gonna read something real quick that I actually did some research on, because like sometimes you'll see like institutional money selling at the lows, and you're like, what is going on? And sometimes you see them buying at the highs, and that's something that always kind of stumbled me a little bit, because like if you do some research, like they do it for different reasons. And one thing I kind of learned is institutionals trade different than retail. So here's something that I kind of learned in the past. I kind of put it together in the last few months or last year or two from watching them buy and sell. And I'm like, and it never made sense to me as a trader. I'm like, why did it not sell like 2 weeks ago whenever it was at all-time highs, and now it's down at these lows and they're selling? So I'm gonna go ahead and read this. So retails versus institutions, the truth that nobody tells you. Most people think the game is simple: buy low, sell high. But that's retail thinking, and it's exactly what gets retail trapped over and over. Here's how the real players operate. Retail mindset: buys when the price looks cheap, sells when the price looks scary. reacts emotionally. So everyone's like, oh, it's really cheap right now. Then it goes down even more. And it's the dip that keeps on dipping. And that's whenever they sell, it's after they buy the dip and they sell after 3 dips, more dips, they sell more, or then they sell it. So they're always buying low and they're selling lower, which is very bad. So what retail ends up buying the dips that keeps dipping and selling the bottoms out of fear. Institutional mindset. They don't buy dips. They buy certainty and they sell uncertainty. Institutions buy whenever the trend is confirmed, volume supports the move, liquidity is strong, and the market structure is clear. So they're not looking at, they understand about making money in the middle. They understand that downtrends are downtrends and uptrends are uptrends. They're DCing and uptrends, and they're getting out during the uncertainty times. So they're not trying to sell the market top. They're going to sit there and wait for the market structure. And that's where I can sit there and go back in. And you look at, I'm going to go ahead and take this off here. And that's when this was kind of like whenever I actually plugged all my information that I learned into AI, and I had it kind of formulate it for me. And I was just like, and whenever I read that, I'm like, wait a second. Institutions buy certainty and they sell uncertainty. And that's when what just happened actually made it click to me. Whenever I go out to that weekly chart, you turn on the SMA 100 high time frame chart with the weekly 100. And we had the Ethereum founder that was selling, right? After this happened. And some other people were selling as well, too. So we had the close on here. You could sit there and say, look at the market structure right here. This is potentially a lower high. We closed underneath the weekly SMA 100, and boom. That gave us that right there. Since that, look at every time we closed underneath that big drawdown. And we went over this multiple times. Closed underneath that big drawdown. That creates uncertainty in the market. So if you look at things like any big players or any big institutions that were selling during that time, the institutions aren't trying to sell up here. One, there's certain reasons beyond that as well, too, which I can go in on another episode and have it more probably formatted. But this is what I want to sit there and say. Once that closed underneath there, they sold due to uncertainty. And why? Because they want to buy back in lower as well, too, once the market structure gets formed to be more correct and they get stronger market structure and there's more certainty in the market. And that's something kind of new that just, I think once you understand that they're not trying to buy low, sell high, they're actually trying to buy certainty and get out when it's uncertain, when there's no certainty or it's uncertain. I think it's a very key mindset to have to know whenever you're trading is knowing what kind of trend you're in and knowing the probabilities. They're buying when the probabilities are in their favor.
Right. I like that. I like that perspective. And that's sort of like the times we're in now, guys. We're in the institutional era. And so maybe we're trading a little bit more like, a lot more like the institutionals do in like stock markets and things like that. I think that certainty versus uncertainty thing is very, very interesting. And let me note here that they want to either buy back lower or they want to buy back if we go back above certain key levels, right? They don't want to buy into the uncertainty is the key point here. So that's really interesting. Digicam man, are you a Charles fan? Charles Hoskinson? I love the guy, man. I just did post on him today. He just came out and he was like talking about how, he's lost more money than everybody here. So listen up, this isn't about the money. And I just love him. He's got such a great personality. And I've had him on the podcast several times. And, he is like, I think one of the visionaries of this industry, right? And one of the people that I hope can continue to shape and form what we do in the future because I love the mentality. So yeah, always sunny, always beautiful, and sunny Colorado. Yeah. So I'm in sunny southern Marbella, Spain. It's not sunny, but it's usually always sunny here right now. So guys, just to leave you on a positive note, that's it. This is a certain new way of thinking. We need to shift to these new rules and sort of just like try to get the edge at all times. And that's what we're doing in the Hive in real time all day. And we now have a beginners chat as well. So if you're a beginner, you can jump on in there and ask questions. And we will be uploading a free beginners course to people who are already in the group for a limited time. And we will be doing giveaways very, very shortly and trading competitions for people who are in the group, signed up with our link and trading on BYDFI. So you want to start trading on BYDFI, the link in the description below, if you want to qualify for those giveaways and the fun things that we have in store. So that being said, we got one more guy, Ron Q, the host, the most hated rally V-shaped recovery. Okay. I think a lot of people would love to have the most hated rally V-shaped recovery. And you know what, if that happens, amazing, right? Like let's ride the wave and let's long the crap out of the market and let's all have a great time. That's not what the market is showing us currently, but let's see how this weekly close happens. And if we get a new low or if we maintain, I like what Rob said, that maybe we just chop around and we piss off both the bulls and the bears and nobody knows what's going on. And then we kind of sort of make our way back up. Maybe that would be interesting.
Yeah, yesterday we went over on the rallies, like the suckers rally and stuff like that. So we did go over that yesterday and the potential of that as well too. We're waiting for a little more confluence that's going to happen, and we're waiting for we're just waiting for that. Basically, we went over that, what we're looking for in the 4-hour chart right now. Right now, we're still underneath the 1-day and 12-hour SMA 9. We're bearishly retesting those, so we still got some time in order to sit there and confirm that we are in one of those. But you got to remember, those rallies are also bear market rallies, so that doesn't mean all-time high. It just means that, hey, we went over the percentage, which do you recall the percentage we went over yesterday? I think it was 40%.
I believe it was like 40%. Yeah.
Yeah. So 40%, we're looking at $85,000 for that one here. So if we do just keep going up from here.
Yes. It was 40% in the CME gap. That was around 84.5.
Yeah. So if we just keep continuing going up right here, so maybe we will have that. If we go straight up, we only have about 20% more to go. If we pull back and we get a retest on a higher low or something like that, which would give us more confidence in that getting that rally, that would be even better, because then we get capitalize on some more gains to the upside before we flip short again.
Right. So we can trade it both ways, guys. That is the beauty of it. Trades Miles, you're asking, how do you chart when the leverage crashes? Not sure exactly what you mean by that. But like basically, after a big crash, you sort of wait for a little bit of market structure before you start to sort of understand what's happening. I mean, sometimes you just got to give it time to formulate, because as we were saying before, then otherwise it's just sort of trying to catch a falling knife, especially in bear markets, because the oversold bounces aren't like in bull markets. So that's what we've been going over. Oh, when the leverage is cleared, he says. How do you chart when the leverage is cleared?
I don't really know what you mean by that, when the leverage is cleared.
Yeah, I'm not too sure on that, but Miles, join the group, ask questions. We have a beginner's chat. If you're a beginner, it's also for very advanced traders. Like everybody, every type of trader we can accommodate for in the group, and the strategy is powerful, simple, and everybody can win with it. So just join the group, and you'll really appreciate when you do. Banner, okay, join in the Hive link right now. Let's freaking go. Links in the description, guys. You'll go to our support verification channel where you'll be signing up with the bot. And then it there's a whole instructions in there. So we really hope to see you in there. If you can't explain leverage, why join? Sorry, Miles, we're just not too sure about what you're asking about. That's the whole point. Are you asking how to leverage trade? We're not very sure what you're asking. That's the main problem.
How to chart a trade. Like you look for a pattern, you look for an entry, you figure out where you want to take your risk at, and you look for take profits. And
okay, I think he's saying that we had like they wiped out, did a liquidity sweep when they went down to 60K, like they wiped out the longs.
Oh, we shorted down to that, and we made money in the group, so that was very awesome. We made significant profits. You short those, yes.
Yeah. So, but like Rob posts liquidation and heat maps all the time, where we see where like key liquidation levels are for short squeezes and long squeezes as well. So I think he's saying that maybe we went down to 60K because we liquidated a lot of the longs in the market.
Yeah, we always liquidate lots of longs, lots of shorts. It's always happening in the market. It's just part of the game. And you just take, I mean, the idea of trading is you're taking money out of the market and putting in your pocket. So as we were going down to liquidate those long leverage longs, we were actually shorting the market. As we can go into the group and kind of check it out, you can sit there and see how yesterday somebody made 30%. That was a call out in group. We called out Plume online.
Plume has been awesome.
So right there, we had Jasmine short in the group. We had Ton short in the group. So, I mean, if we were taking out long leverage longs. So basically what's happening there is there's people that were long. We were taking their money and putting it in our pocket through our group. So basically what we're doing is taking the longs, shorts were taking the longs the money at that time. So now we're waiting for some confirmation to do the vice versa, or not. We take some more longs to the short side. So it just depends on what direction the market's going on. We had SUI short, we had Jasmine short. So I mean, we took their money basically. So yeah, we cleared out the leverage. The short players got the win. The Bears won that game, and we walk away with profits. So I hope that
Right.
answers the question that you're looking for.
Yeah, it looks like he's clarifying it. But Miles, man, we only want good vibes on this channel. So if you're asking a question, you got to articulate it, because here in a hive, we're a tight knit community. You know what I'm saying? So he's asking, why did it bounce from 60K if there were no more longs left in the market? Well, why does any market bounce? I mean, like,
It
go
was
ahead,
just
Rob.
a bounce. That's all it was. Why? Because RSI was oversold. People
Yeah.
FOMOed in. $60,000 is a round number. It's a psychological number. We're close to the 1-day SMA 200 or 1-week SMA 200. We're close to there. So it was just a psychological area that people wanted to buy at. We were also, yesterday, we talked about how we were in the 3-day bullish order block. That's good. So right there, we wicked down to that, which is a buy zone, very strong support. So we bounced right off of that. So that is basically why it was just a very big key level on why we bounced there.
Yeah,
Whether we keep
exactly.
holding it, whether we
So
come down,
Miles, if you were a Hive member and tuning into these streams, you'd already know the answer to that, or had something sort of like more articulated for us to be able to answer you. But anyway, there are key levels in the market. We're due for a bounce. We're highly oversold, so we will get bounces. But as we've been saying on the channel, they're not going to be like those bull market bounces, right? Like, we're not going to just rally up into a new higher high swing or something like that. There's a lack of momentum in the market right now. So the question is, what happens after the bounce, right? Are we going to keep going? Are we going to die out on momentum? Are we going to roll over? And right now, just to summarize it for all of the new people tuning in, we're sort of looking at, if we can continue this run, or if we're sort of running out of steam. And if we come back down to that 60, I believe, around $64,000 or $66,000 level, if we hold, or if we come down to make new lows. So that's what we're looking at right now.
Yeah, we want to sit there and we want to make a higher low, basically above 62 in the 4-hour time frame. We're looking to see if we get rejected at some point here. We want to see if we can make it basically a higher low above 62,764.
Right. Yeah. So all eyes on this next move, guys. It's heating up. Oh, we got a new person. What's up? Welcome to the Hive. We like the good vibes. We're doing crypto and cocktails today, New Earth Guardian. I love calling people by their handles because it's so funny. So you're a new person tuning in. Well, welcome. We're just about to wrap up the stream, but Crypto Fridays, or Crypto and Cocktail Fridays, are the most fun streams we have on this channel. And I just said we're going to start doing giveaways and trading competitions, things like that. So you got to be signed up in the group, and the link's in the description below. It's still free, guys. It's still free. So even Trader Miles here, who tuned in, is getting the information for free. And we're just trying to give as much value as possible, because we want to grow a strong and tight-knit community of the real ones. Jeannie knows. All of the guys that tune in today, every single day, you guys know, and we appreciate you so much. And we are going to go to the moon and back together. I mean, we're going to do this together, and we're going to absolutely crush it in the market. And we want to end on that positive note, even though there's a little uncertainty in the market. We give you a lot of gems in this episode, so you're going to want to go back and rewatch it. And stay tuned. Get in the group so you can see the setups and understand what's happening with Bitcoin in real time. And so welcome, New Earth Guardian. We'd love to have you in the Hive. We're a very inclusive, fun community, and we love to help each other. So I don't know, Rob. I feel like we could just do like a hours long live stream, because there's so much to talk about. But you got anything else before we wrap up now?
No, I'm gonna be sitting down doing some TA tonight, and the rest of the updates will probably be in group here. So yeah, I got to do a little bit more digging, just get some better ideas. Waiting for some more confirmations on everything. Other than that, just being patient, and just if it's a bullish weekend, I might sit there be looking for some pop and drop trades. So we'll see what's being hyped up. So I call them pop and drops on the weekend, because you get some good pops on the weekend, and then they just drop off when the weekend's over.
Oh, yeah. So let's have some fun pop and drop action, guys. Let's go. Get in a group. We're going to be trading. If it's bad weather outside, just jump on into the group. Instead of watching Netflix, put it on in the background, sit down in front of your computer and have some fun. Okay. So you guys, you have an amazing weekend. That's right, Jeannie. Join the real ones in the Hive. And we're so happy to have you here each and every single day. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you on Monday. Talk to you later, guys.